What is discipleship? What is a disciple? When do I know that I am a disciple? Is it a series of classes that I need to attend? Do I need to get smarter to become a disciple of Jesus? Is it a set of tasks or jobs that I accomplish and get done? Is that when I'm a disciple? Or is it a bunch of relationships that I'm involved in? Does that make me a disciple? And so that's what we're going to look at today, coming up. Hey there, everybody. Welcome to my channel. I'm a pastor, and I've been a pastor for a few years now, and I love leading a local church, and I love seeing people become more like Jesus, grow in their walk with God. God absolutely changed their life, and it's something that I'm incredibly passionate to help people to see Jesus and to follow Him in their practical life. And honestly, that's what this channel is about. So welcome if this is your very first time. I hope that this helps you to grow in your walk with God. So let's have a look again at what discipleship really is. You know, in Jesus' day, it was something that was quite practical and tangible and actually pretty, I don't want to say easier to do, but you know, in Jesus' day, if you were going to be a disciple of someone, it meant that you were going to take on their teaching as your own teaching, that you were going to take on their lifestyle as your lifestyle. And you know what, in the day of Jesus, you know, you would literally follow the person you wanted to be a disciple of. And so with Jesus and his followers, and even after Jesus, you know, early Christian leaders, when they were discipling people, it was a case of come and do life with me. You know, with Jesus, they walked where Jesus walked. They slept where he slept. They ate the food with Jesus. They were in constant relationship. And whenever they would see Jesus giving to the poor or healing the sick, they would learn from those experiences because they were around him all the time. So they learned, they saw, and they were able to apply and replicate what they learned from Jesus. You know, today it's very different though, because if you follow someone around all the time, that's a little bit difficult. I mean, how do we do that in the busyness of life that we live in today? You know, today in the modern world, in Western culture, it's like, how do I stay in my heart? How can I build higher walls to keep me separate from other people? We have social media, which is an incredibly powerful tool. But even in the age of social media, we have so many people who are isolated, lonely, and disconnected from real relationship from other people. Not hating on social media, I love it, and I think it's an incredible tool to use to stay connected with people. But you know what? We live very independent lifestyles. We are working so many hours, you know, because of the light bulb, we can work at night as well. And I'm not saying that that's healthy, but that's just the reality of where we are living in today. And so how do we do discipleship? How do we learn the teachings of Jesus in the same way that the early disciples would have done it, how the early followers of Jesus? You know, and I think that's where things like YouTube are great, because you can invite influence into your life from pretty much all over the world. You just got to make sure that it's the right kind of influence. So what does it look like in our modern generation? How can we use technology not to keep us from discipleship, but actually to leverage it so that we can help, firstly, ourselves become better followers of Jesus and help other people to follow Jesus? And so we have to review what does discipleship actually look like? Is discipleship a series of classes that you attend? You know, is it all about just getting smarter and learning more? No, I wouldn't say that, because the goal isn't that we become smart Christians. The goal is that we become faithful and obedient followers of Jesus. Is it a bunch of tasks that we do? Well, partly yes as well, because you become a disciple by doing things. God's actually prepared good work in advance for you and I to do. And when we walk in them and help other people walk in them, they are doing what they're called to do. And there's an aspect of discipleship in that as well. Is it just a bunch of relationships that you have with people? Well, certainly the right ones. You do become like the 5 key relationships in your life. So yeah, relationships are vital. And so I don't think the answer is either one, it's all. Yes, they're all right. That's how we become a disciple. And so there are different ways and methods, but we can't just stick to one particular method. We have to, whatever helps us to become like Jesus and to take our next step in our walk with God, that is what discipleship looks like. Now, personally, from experience and from the experience of seeing lots of other people do this journey, The best way for discipleship is through physical relationships, getting into a group of people, a community like a church or a smaller group of people as well that is supported with the church. That can help you to walk with God and to, in those times of critical decisions and choices, can help you to navigate. How would Jesus do that? It's not just what would Jesus do, brace it, but practically, like how would Jesus tackle this? How can we pray and how can we help one another? Those are keys for discipleship. I think relationship is number one. But you also want to learn some stuff and learn what you need to do and how you need to do it and walk with God in that way. And so I would say that yes, learning more, walking with people and using the gifts that God has given you to serve other people, to help other people, to glorify God in that way, those are the key ways of discipleship. Now, how can you do that in this generation? Well, yeah, part of being in a group of people, or even stuff like this, like a video online that can help you to take a practical step. And that's what we want to do. You become a disciple of Jesus when you learn the teachings of Jesus and you apply the teachings of Jesus. And then, key thing, you don't stop there. You then begin to teach somebody else the teachings of Jesus and help them to practically apply the teachings of Jesus in their life. And that's how we become disciples. And it's not like, bang, I've arrived, I'm a disciple. Yes, I've made it. No, it's a lifelong journey and we're all on it. And I'm so glad that you're on it with me. And I want this channel and this video, hopefully, to help you, to add value to you to become a disciple as we go on this journey together. And so the big question for today that I want to leave you with is, what is your next step? If discipleship is all about taking your next step in your walk with God, applying the teachings of Jesus to your life, what is your next step? I'd love to hear in the comment section below, and then maybe we can even help one another and figure out what are the best steps that we can take, that we can add value within this online community. I hope this video has been helpful to you. If it has, please feel free to hit the like button, share with anyone that you think might be helpful to. And I'll see you in the next video.